we're looking at how to maximize usage of the available funds through AB 156, and then augment it with every other grant opportunity over time. But we need to see what the footprint is of the recommended middle mile and last mile, and then augment it with additional grants. Because we're going to get maybe 20% of the total need for all underground fiber optic to unserved households. In time, I think we want to look toward overbuilding a system so that there is both fiber and wireless in regions where it makes sense, so that cell service is robust. And I don't know, it just, within cities, that's the way it operates. And the more we can make counties, the other census designated places in the county having equivalent services to municipalities, the better.
I make a comment.
Please.
If there are other opportunities, that means that we need to have somebody locally, somebody in our county who's in charge of those other opportunities, because they're not going through the JPA, the way I understand it. So we still need somebody sort of important in charge and who does broadband, and we don't have that person yet. At least I haven't heard of that person.
A recent hire in the CEO's office has expertise in broadband, but I'll let Darcy or Supervisor Williams or Haschak expand on that. Or I mean, your point is well taken, suffice it to say.
Yeah, I agree with Katie. I think the RCRC is a great idea, but if it's only going to focus on the funding from the current Senate bill that Newsom signed, what's that, 156? We don't want to let other opportunities slip by us that maybe we should be addressing.
So Judy Morris recently joined us. I don't know if she made it to this call. I forwarded the invite, but a bit late. She is working as a deputy CEO, and she was previously supervisor in Trinity, where she worked on broadband. So we now have someone in the executive office that has far more experience and history. She may be able to take some of the lead of tracking and augmenting the effort. And I'll make sure that she gets the notice next time. Maybe she can give us a bit of an update on her scope.
Well, that sounds like good news, Ted. That name is familiar to me. I think I may have met her at some point.
But the concern stands. I thought water would be flowing from Ukiah to the coast on Tuesday, and we don't have any yet. And I don't know if we're going to get any next week. And so, the same concerns. There's a parallel with broadband, that no matter how well intentioned, I think it'd be hard to find anybody who works for the county who feels that we're not understaffed. So how do we keep the continuity? How do we ensure that we're fully tracking? It's good questions.
Incidentally, in conversation with Calvin Sandine, sorry, he indicated that the county has the opportunity to join the Joint Powers Authority and leave it after 6 months if they decide they want to go on their own. However, if you want to join it after a deadline, then you might not have a vote in the outcomes or decision-making process. So we as a county might want to join the Joint Powers Authority and then see it as it develops, with the option of leaving it if it doesn't match. Sorry. That was my single point. And again, a supervisor from each of the RCRC counties would be part of the decision-making body, even though staff might be making most of the decisions. Any other thoughts or questions?
Yeah,
ahead,
I have a question about, I think I'm hearing that it's Ted's intent and perhaps John Hashik's intent to move ahead and put a vote to the Board of Supervisors to join the RCRC JPA. And I personally, I'm certainly in support of that. Question for Ted and John is, do you need some political support? Should the Broadband Alliance and other groups be writing letters to the Board of Supervisors in support of you joining?
It strikes me as a no-brainer. I don't see opposition. So I think yes on the letter writing. I don't know if we need it for this effort. There may be better uses of that energy. And my best guess is there will be support for the concept of joining, and it may be that that we want to lobby to ensure that we have some level of priority, that we have a seat at the table. It's more the terms that concern me than the concept. So we might reach back to you and ask for support when we get to that level of detail. As I understand, RCRC is in the process of internally approving the JPA, and then it'll come to the individual counties.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree
thank
with
you.
that. I was just on a CSAC meeting yesterday, and there was a lot of discussion about this. And one of the things was that counties that are not part of RCRC wanted to join. And so I think this is, what we need to do is keep this JPA focused on rural counties and our needs.
And to build on that point, it is possible for the urban counties to join the JPA, despite, in keeping with your comments. I think you are correct that we need to keep it rural, but when it comes to the North Bay North Coast Broadband Consortium, we are 3 rural counties and 1 urban county. And really the demographics of Marin are not dissimilar to Napa, Sonoma, or Mendocino County to a great degree. So I don't know, keeping it regional rather than based on population density is worthy of consideration.
Jeff, if I may, it was my understanding from the discussion at the previous meeting with Calvin that urban counties can join the JPA, but they would not be voting members. Only the rural counties would be the voting members. I believe that's what I interpreted the conversation to be.
Thank you. Shall we move on to the next topic, or any additional questions or comments? There's another slide. And this covers some of the material that we've already discussed. I'll linger here for a moment before moving on. And so we're now on to the next topic on the agenda, and Marianne Petrillo and West Company with Paloma will have a different slide deck. So I will stop screen sharing and enable them to introduce their topic.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for inviting us here today. Can you hear me okay? Great. I'm going to be sharing my deck in a minute. So if you allow me to share my screen, that would be great, Jeff.
Okay, I think I've done, oh, let me make sure I did that.
Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah, this is great. Thank you.